introduction. So I'm the tech director at Pizza Express. So I look after the entire tech stack, all the way through from the stuff you'll see in restaurants. But my personal passion is the digital stuff. So a little bit of an imposter, not a marketeer, but I've worked with the Mapp team for a little while. Coming up to about 7 years now we've been with the Mapp stuff. So we're going to give you, I'm going to give you a bit of a context of our digital journey over the last 2 years, because the important context for us is sort of before the pandemic, Pizza Express were known as a brand that did a lot of discounts that were very scattergun, and that is largely how we use the Mapp platform. So for all the bad the pandemic did for the hospitality industry, there were two big changes when we came out the other side of it. One was, as a business, we decided to move away from that sort of mass discounting, and we sort of put in a loyalty scheme. And the other was our delivery business went from here to here. And when we sort of came out the other side of the pandemic, it stayed up there. So both of which led to us needing to do a lot of digital transformation. And that's kind of what we'll touch on today. So firstly, the business made that decision that they wanted to do a loyalty app. So obviously Nando's already played in that space. And that was kind of all we knew, first of all. So three of the big points towards the loyalty app. Firstly, it's omni-channel loyalty, and I'll touch on the omni-channel part of it later. But then it has the things you'd expect in a restaurant app. So the ability to book a table, the ability to pay for your table. So how the scheme works, as some context, is you work your way up different levels of tiers. So firstly, you can be a bronze member, and every time you come, that will give you a free side. Then you can move up to be a silver member, and you get sort of a slightly different array of free products. And then if you've come 12 times, you'll become a gold member, which gives you a big chunk of your meal, a big chunk of your meal for free, which is, again, we're kind of rewarding those most loyal customers, which is a big difference compared to what we were doing before. My favorite part of the scheme is that it did go across all of our channels. So again, coming out of the pandemic, we had 3 core channels. So that's the sort of kind of eat-in part of the business. Delivery and collection, as I said, absolutely went gangbusters and stayed at a certain level, which changed our business. And then I'm sure you've probably all tried a supermarket pizza. So fun fact, we actually sell more pizzas in supermarkets than we do in restaurants, which is pretty hard to believe. So what we then did is create a loyalty scheme that encompassed all of these things. So if you go in to a restaurant and dine, we will give you a full stamp to earn your way up those rewards. If you order a delivery or collection, you earn half a stamp. And if you buy a pizza in a supermarket, you will earn a quarter of a stamp. So everybody can play on the scheme. This was the hardest one, because this meant, and still means today, we have to put a unique QR code on every single pizza we sell in the supermarket. But I'm sure you can imagine what that means for us from a data perspective is absolutely unbelievable. This was just a channel that sat over here that we had no data for previously, and now it's completely integrated into the customer data stack. So again, another huge benefit when it came to setting up an app. It was an app-first strategy. So the only thing we talked to our customers about was the app. The only thing our teams talked about was our app. And we got to completely revolutionize what we knew about any given customer. So our data was always reasonably broad. We'd kind of know if they'd booked a table, if they'd used our Wi-Fi. But moving into the app, it meant we really understood their favorite pizzas, their favorite restaurants. We asked them sort of lots of important onboarding questions around who they'd like to dine with, and we'd understand a lot more dietary preferences. So this is then what that meant for our CRM journey. So all of that in real time is integrated into the Mapp Engage system. So as somebody signs up as an app user, that goes straight into the Mapp platform, and that triggers welcome emails and that sort of thing. And that's all on an automated basis. The other thing is all of those tiers, we pre-can all of our digital engagement through those tiers. So if we know somebody's about to drop in or out of one of our tiers, the Mapp platform is set up to send them a push notification or an email just to remind them one more pizza could get you to gold, one more pizza would keep you in silver, that sort of thing. And we can do that without needing any sort of overnight, any manual intervention. And then the other stuff is, as I mentioned, so we would know every single customer that has brought a supermarket pizza versus as well as dined in, as well as used collection. And again, it just brought those three channels together. The other really interesting thing is I can take any of these things around the outside. So I could say, show me all supermarket customers that are in silver and their favourite pizzeria is in the north, and we can give them an extra reward for whatever reason. So again, completely different to our old system, which was just give everybody 30% off. So we get a lot more targeted and a lot smarter. And importantly, we use the other channel we got to integrate here properly was push. So we came out of just email. Push is now a big part of it, and it gets a lot more engagement and a better engagement level than the email stuff ever did. So here's an example of just some of our push notifications. So this is a good one that's pre-canned. So when you join our loyalty scheme, we'll give you free dough-balls. You have 6 weeks to use those. This is an example of someone who's signed up, not used those free dough-balls, and they'll just get a nudge to use them along the way. Email is still a core part of what we do, and Hanita's here who does all the hard work here, but we still use it's still a huge part of our CRM base, and it still drives great level of engagement, and all of our key stats have improved since sort of integrating all of this data. Again, we've gone from a really broad set of data to a much deeper set of customer data to drive engagement. So the other big area for us was delivery and collection. So we worked with, at the time, just Deliveroo when it came to delivery. And we kind of run collection, what I like to say, off the side of a desk. So we had a white label website that we brought off our till provider, and it did a really small amount of business through that. And nobody kind of wanted to own it. We came out the other side of the pandemic, and all of a sudden we've got proper resource within the business to help drive delivery and collection. We've gone from just using Deliveroo to now being multi-aggregator, and you'll probably notice the way the market's gone in this space is brands like Pizza Express, McDonald's, KFC, Nando's have now built their own delivery and collection platforms. So we're no different. We use the opportunity to go out and build our own platform for that. We partner with Uber Eats to do those delivery orders. So we don't do that part because that is too difficult to get the resource to do that. But that we needed to do that to get control of the journey. And when I say control of the journey, that's control of the web journey itself, because we just could not persuade our white label provider to do anything of what we wanted to do, because it was not their primary target either. So we moved into sort of 4 key phases. So we built our own platform. The first area that went live was collection. So that is the ability, obviously, for customers to order, and they come to the platform, and then they collect themselves. And then we started using the fresh relevance tech as well. So again, we kind of brought that through Mapp because it's a partner of theirs. And the first thing we got to switch on was the abandoned basket journey, which I'll come to in a sec. Then what we've done over the last few months is go with either a delivery platform that's integrated into Uber Eats, which is great. And the good news, the great thing about that is you can now you can spend your rewards on that platform. So again, we're just trying to bring everybody into that one single platform. And then phase 4, which I'll touch on again in a sec, is we've started using all of the power of the fresh relevance tech to do lots of different AI upsells and cross-sells. Again, not something that was possible before. So this is an example of the abandoned basket journey. So abandoned basket, it's a little bit different to retail, I suppose, because if you're trying to buy a pair of trainers and you kind of keep getting pushed those for days and weeks, past, then you might still be interested in those trainers. It's a really time specific thing when it comes to ordering a takeaway. So we we had to build a journey that captured the basket, and our rule set is like if you've not ordered and abandoned that basket, we hit you again within minutes of you kind of leaving the site. And again, it's all because the integration is essentially real time. The really sophisticated thing about this journey that we liked is it goes completely cross device. So the second you kind of don't check out, we'll send you an email and we could rebuild that basket on any device solely because of that we've got that unique basket ID. And this overnight kind of paid for itself, if you like. So it's not something we could have done before. It's got a really good payback using the fresh relevant stuff, which was great because then all of the rest of the business case started to pay for itself. The other thing, I'll go to this slide first. So the other thing we did, the phase 4, once we got delivery up and running, was use fresh relevance for what we call AI upsell, cross-sell. Now, I'm sure the fresh relevance team will explain this a lot better than me, but if I just come over to this side. So if somebody drops a single pizza into their basket, this is then telling us, this is the fresh relevance stuff kicking in and saying, okay, so anybody who's dropped a sloppy Giuseppe into their basket, this is often, these are all the different products that are often brought with that pizza. These are all different products brought after browsing that pizza. And then it has some sort of AI that says, okay, well, the next best thing you should try and offer based on all these percentages should be this. So we kind of took the background of that journey, and that got plugged into 2 different parts. So firstly is the pop-up. So this is kind of, I'm sure the likes of Domino's do all the time. So somebody drops a pizza in, we will let the fresh relevance AI kick in, and then that decides which 2 products go in here. Before, this was just selling 2 different dips that were like 75p. Now it offers the most intelligent product we should offer based on whatever's in the basket. And it also drives this. So this is the sort of would you also like module. So this will kind of look at, it analyzes the entire basket and offers like kind of complementary things, which includes sort of vegetarian things if applicable. And it kind of has all that logic built in. And then the third thing, as I kind of mentioned before, is just looping back around to the loyalty stuff. It's completely integrated with loyalty. So you earn your points, you burn your points, all on loyalty, which just brings the whole thing together as a, it brings the whole thing together as our kind of ecosystem is really building out now, which is good. And I think that is it. I didn't even get the 5-minute warning, so maybe we can open it up to questions, but maybe I'll race through it a bit quick. But that is just a whistle-stop tour of kind of Pizza Express digital over the last kind of 2 years.